Here we go. Today is the 24th, December the 24th, and you said, Ampie, it was going to happen before December.
Before Christmas. Yeah.
How long were you working on the final sand of this now?
Well, the sanding took another, I think about 3 hours.
3 hours, eh?
But yeah.
But otherwise you're happy with the finish,
obviously,
eh?
you know, you sand it with very fine paper, 600.
Yes, yes.
And it...
Ooh, it's smooth, eh?
So let's put paint on and see what it does.
Okay.
This is still the original paint.
Yeah.
From 40 years ago.
It's amazing that it hasn't, you know, sometimes you see those paints, they get all hard and like a hard top to them and all the rest of it.
Look. Made in Germany.
Is that why, hey? So actually, so this didn't have like a skin on top of it and all that sort of thing?
Nothing at all.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Does this paint also the same procedure, hardeners and...
Same thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The first little mark there with paint.
Okay. Okay. So
Two parts paint and 1 part hardener.
Okay.
And then we put little thinners in. It's probably about 10% thinners.
Leave you to it so I don't get paint on my lens. Wow, that's looking spectacular, man. Wow, look at that. Brilliant. Absolutely spotless. Are you happy with the first spray?
I'm quite happy. Yeah, it's. I see this is. You see the paint also it dries, doesn't dry smoothly, and
yeah, I'm just trying to see. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. I think it can.
Can you see there?
There's the finest of little bumps. Yeah.
But all those will disappear when we put the paper on.
Yes, yes.
I see there was also a little run here.
Okay, a little run. Yeah, a little small one. And how are you going to fix that?
Well, I'll wait for it to dry and then I'll sand it. But the good thing is this is behind the taillight.
Yes.
So it's not going to show at all. So, but yeah.
Any other little misdemeanors?
No, I think that's it.
Hang on. Isn't this a little secret? There's a little one here.
It's on the top at the bottom.
Yes.
Over there and there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, so are you going to wait for it to dry?
So it'll dry properly. Once it's dry, we'll just sand it out like that.
What sort of paper
if I need to come back, I'll just put some paint on here.
What sort of paper are you going to use at this stage on it?
Well, yeah, I'm going to use 400.
400,
yeah,
okay.
Which is a coarser paper.
Yeah, just to get to that.
Just to get it smooth or flattened properly, and then
And then on with the 200. Okay.
Yeah, but you can see it's not. I think also.
This one, it looks a little thinner than the others, which is probably just cautionary, I think, from your side.
It might get better with a second coat.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
But I think also I should have started at the top and go straight through instead of doing half-half. You know?
I was wondering when I was watching you doing it, I thought it's asking for trouble. That
the other side, I've started from the top and going down, and then just do
all
this
the
little
way,
bit and then this little
Yes, I saw that because I saw what you were doing. You were going like this, like that, like this, like that. Instead of you should have just done all the way and all the way.
Yeah, and then just do the little bits at the bottom.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. That first coat is now finished.
Yes.
And Ampie, I see you looking in your book. What are you looking for there?
There's a flash of time between coats. I just want to check what they recommend here, which is a flash off. And there it says between 5 and 10 minutes between coats.
I would personally have left it for like 6 hours or something like that. So no, it's got to dry properly. Yeah. So it's that soon, hey?
Yeah. This is all the technical data that they tell you what pressure you need to use, what gun nozzles and what have you.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you not worried that, I mean, we are exposed a little bit to the elements. I mean, I know we've had rain and you know, the moisture's kept a little of the dust down, but I did see some very fine specks of things going on to the paint. How are you?
Once we finish, because we didn't go to a spray booth, I'm going to flatten it down with about 2000 paper. Once it's dry, maybe in 2 days' time, flatten it, and then we put the polisher on it with a foam pad and what they call G3, which is
like a rubbing compound sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a rubbing
but
compound.
now there's but then that little does that bring that glass-like shine?
It does, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. You also get different coarseness in these polishes.
Yes.
So I use an intermediate, which is good. If your surface is well prepared with a fine sanding paper. Obviously, if you use coarse sanding paper, the marks will remain there.
Meaning, because you said you can use a 2000, right?
Yeah, 2000, which I think is probably the finest paper that you get.
Okay, and if you go coarser than that, it's a bit too much, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
It'll take all the rubbish off, but I'd rather spend half an hour extra of sanding,
yes,
and then we'll get a proper finish at the end of the day. Yeah, it works. It really works. So yeah, that's the story. That's the way to go now.
Ho ho ho! Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So it's going to be the second coat.
This one came actually very lekker. Eh?
Is it?
Look there.
Yeah, it is, of course, smoother. Yeah. And funnily enough, this was the bumpiest of all of them. Do you remember?
I know. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Ampie's second coat done. So what now?
It's going to stay for 2 days. Let it dry properly. And I'm going to sand it down with 2000 and polish it. And let's see what it looks like. If there's any marks, I've still got paint. So we can always go back and fix things. Right. So yeah.
Ampie, yeah, next day again. Here we go. At it. So, okay, what are we going to do now?
Okay, the rear end's finished. Bumper and taillights and everything.
When you say finished, what do you mean?
Totally finished. It's been sanded and it's been polished.
Oh, you sanded and polished those parts under there?
Those are all polished and sanded. Yeah.
Okay, and now?
So what we're going to do, we're going to do the remainder of the pieces. I saw when I started sanding, the edges came through sanded through to the primer. So hopefully there wasn't enough paint on there.
Okay.
So I've now redid the edges all over.
All right.
So that can stay there, it's fine.
Oh, I can see this blending worked well here. Hey?
Yeah, this is, and also remember there was we had a run here, so the run has been sanded out. It looks okay. We've got to sand a little bit there.
All right.
This is a little bit overspray there, but yeah, we'll get that sorted.
That's looking good. So are you going to show us now how you do this sanding process now? Because and what grain of paper you're going to use? What's going to happen now?
Okay, what we use a 2000 paper, which is very fine.
Yes.
And all we want to do is just take some of the edges off, and obviously there's a bit of dust that collected as we painted the little spots there. So you just go with it. I'll just do it by hand.
Yeah.
There's no need for a block because we already blocked everything.
All right.
So we just go over it with a fine 2000 paper.
All right.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah.
And again with.
And is this sort of eliminating that sort of little bits of? I mean, you didn't have much orange peeling, but very slight. Do you remember?
Yeah. The problem is with the polish is not coarse enough to take those little impurities off.
Yeah.
So what we do, we use the sanding just to make the thing smooth, and then once we put the polish on, it will
bring the shine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because soon as you polish on an untreated surface, it'll just polish whatever it is. So the little marks they remain, even if there's any dust marks, it just stays there because the polish is not coarse enough to take off.
Yes. Okay.
So,
all right. So
that's why we go with a 2000 paper just to smooth it out. And you'll see now when we put the polisher on immediately. So that part I'm going to leave. We're going to do that later.
Okay.
So,
all right. Let's see how this boot goes.
Polisher with.
It's like quite a hard sponge, eh?
Yeah. Foam sponge. But it works well.
All right.
And then this thing is controllable, the speed from 0 to 6. And I normally polish at like 2. You don't want it to go too quickly, because you go quickly, you burn the paint.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
So This is Ferrecla regular grade
Okay.
paste compound.
All right. So does it have wax in it as well, like a polish? But
no, this doesn't have wax in it.
oh,
No.
okay, just compound in it.
Compound.
A very fine.
Yeah,
compound.
once you finish, you've got to wax the car again.
I
So, but yeah, this thing has got no wax on it.
see. All right.
Let me see, there's a little spot.
Yes, I
Over
see
there.
that little spot. Yeah. Yeah.
Dust.
Ah, you gotta scrape that off. Yeah, I see that with that.
It'll probably, that black piece will probably remain there. But yeah.
Because it's the character of the car. So it's like human beings are not avatars, are they? And perfect
Yeah,
avatars
but-
created in computers.
If that spot will be there because it's dust that's settled in the paint.
Yeah. Not too much, I suppose. Oh, okay. You got quite a sparingly. All right.
The polish, it doesn't take the ripples off.
Yeah.
So it just polishes the ripples. So that's why you've got to sand it to get it smooth. And you see, this is not totally smooth.
Okay, I see that. Yeah. I
You see,
I
it's got a
think
bit of
I
a,
think
like
the camera,
an orange peely
I
effect.
think the camera can see it. Yeah.
So what I think I need to do is to go over it with a bit of a coarser paper first, like 600, and then go with finer paper until it has to be smooth.
Yes.
Otherwise, you always have this like a little ripple effect.
Ampie, it really seems like you've got a lot of elbow grease to spend here, and
Yeah.
and a couple of cups of tea in between. So I'm going to leave you to it, and then I think appropriately would be we'll take the car out once it's all done in a day or two's time, and we'll go and. Finally, the car is finished, Ampie, and I'm sure it must be good for you. Eh?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Let's take a look and see how. Wow! Look, I wasn't here for the bonnet, but look at that beautiful job on the bonnet, eh? Yeah, it looks great, man.
Bonnet took a while, but yeah, at least it's done.
Is it? Okay, and then the back of the car.
Back
Let's
of the
go and
car
have a
is
look.
fine. It's quite happy with the result.
Remember, we did a lot of work over here, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, this is where it cracked, where the shell fell on it, so it looks okay now.
You're happy, eh? I
Quite
can see, but I mean, I can't with my
Yeah.
eye. My eye can't see
Yeah,
anything.
and we've got all the cracks out of the bootlet, so
Yes. Oh, and all of this at the back, and that's what do you call this? The
valance at the back, yeah, that was
Yeah.
also pretty bad. It looks very good.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And this side, remember there was some marks here, corrosion here and over there.
Yes. Yes.
All sorted.
That's all gone now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
Eh? Wow. Okay, I think that's excellent. Excellent piece of work done on this car. Wow. Brilliant, man. Look at that. Well, and so how would you say, I mean, if you look at it money-wise that you spent now, where do you think you're sitting at in terms of what it cost you to do this respray?
So yeah, we look at about 5 Gs in total.
Okay, I mean, yeah, and that job in a normal shop would have cost, what do you think?
I would say 20 at least.
Okay.
20 at least.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a bit of a saving, and it also kept me busy for a while. So yeah.
Nice one. I think a job well done, and I'm thinking if any of you want to attempt this, I think it is possible, don't you think? So the next thing is that little Rav sitting over there. I'm going to just muster up the energy to do that one of these days. Okay, but otherwise, see you soon.